Hey everyone, my name's Liv and I just made this channel then called Liv Loves Horror because I love horror movies and I'm making this account like all based on like horror things. So all the videos will be like based on like horror movies and reviews and stuff like that. So the reason I just kind of made this account was because like I just watched The Boy 2 just then and I really wanted to make a review on it, but I didn't want to make it on my main account. So I was like, you know what, I'll just use one of my other emails and make this account so I can do like horror reviews and like collections and yada yada and that type of stuff on here. So that's what I'm gonna do. But yes, I just watched The Boy 2 for the first time and I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on it, so I'm gonna kind of just get right into that. So yeah, I started writing stuff down. I didn't write anything down during the movie because I only decided to make this video after I watched the movie, but I started writing stuff down, but I feel like it's easier to say and harder to write down, so I'm just gonna say what I think. One of the reasons I felt like the movie was really bad was because it completely ruins the first movie. The Boy 2 is a sequel to The Boy 1, but it's also like, it talks about the first movie in this movie, but it completely changes the whole thing. Like, it's still the same characters and stuff, but in the first movie, spoiler alert if you haven't seen this movie, yeah, I'm gonna be giving spoilers in this, but in the first movie, it's about a doll that they think is haunted. The chick thinks it's haunted. Turns out it's not. It's just some guy in the walls moving the doll around while she's not looking. This one's about the doll being possessed, but like, it's so confusing. I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. Honestly, I've only watched the first one like once, and that was like a few years ago, so I don't really remember the whole thing, but like, I can remember it not being about a possessed doll. But like, I don't know, the movie, the second one that I just watched, to me seems so confusing. I honestly had no idea what was going on halfway through because they kept saying all these other people own the house and all these little boys were like killing their parents and stuff because the doll made them do it. But it never talked about this in the first movie. I'm like, what the hell? Like, they were talking about they talked about the guy living in the walls, but then they also talked about little kids who lived in that house before the guy lived in the walls, killing their family because the doll was possessed. And then but they keep talking about how the doll was possessed the whole time. In the first movie, the doll wasn't possessed at all. So oh my god, this is so confusing. What the hell? Yeah, the whole time they're just like, oh, the doll's been possessed since like the 1800s. The doll became possessed, yada yada. They never say who possessed the doll at all. They never explain it in the movie. They just kind of say the doll's possessed and that the doll tells these little boys to kill their parents and yada yada, and they do, and then when the police come, they're like, oh, but the doll made me do it. But if the doll was possessed since the 1800s, then why wasn't it possessed in the first movie? I'm here to quickly say that it left a huge plot hole in the franchise. Like, it makes no sense. Like, I feel like it just completely ruins the, like, originality of the first movie. The first movie was, like, something we hadn't seen before in horror, I guess. But this movie kind of just, like, we've already seen it. I really love, like, possessed doll movies though, but this movie was just not good at all. I did not like it. It wasn't scary either. Like, it was so boring. Like, it just, like, if it, like, there was not, in my opinion, there weren't any jump scares at all. If there were any jump scares, well, then they probably weren't scary enough, because it just was so boring. It was literally a snooze fest. It was so boring, and just, I don't know, it makes me kind of angry. Like, it just, I don't know, just like, the first movie is so good, but this one's just like so bad. Like, I knew what I was getting myself into. I know, like, I've seen like online as well. Like, I knew what I was getting myself into. I've seen so many people online complain about this movie and say it's the most god-awful thing. I still decided to give it a chance. My standards were low, and somehow this movie was lower than my standards, which, I don't know. But yeah, this movie sucked. I hate it. Will I ever watch it again? Maybe. I don't really know. But I think it just completely just ruins the franchise. Like, I wrote something down. Like, yeah, it's supposed to be a franchise, but it just completely takes away the whole plot and originality of the first one. Like, it's just not, like, I think if they wanted to make the franchise good, stick to the original plot of the first one. Don't just go changing it up now, because then it makes no sense. I'm sorry, I'm getting kind of like angry over this, and that's okay, but I feel like if they wanted to make a good solid franchise, they should have just stuck to the plot of the first movie instead of completely changing the whole plot and everything about the second one, because it doesn't seem like a franchise. It just seems like two different movies. Like, even though in this one, like in the second one, they do talk about the first movie, and they talk about the people who lived in the house before. Like, they talked about the people who lived in the house before them, and like the couple from the first one, the old couple, they talk about them as well. But like, it just makes no sense. There's no correlation whatsoever. Like how, I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. Like, they're just kind of like, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say other than the fact it's awful and I hate it. But yeah, that's just my main point. That's like the only thing I really have to say about it, is that I hate it and it ruins the first movie, and it's not good at all. Not scary at all. So yeah. They're my thoughts and opinions on this movie. I thought it was terrible. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my rant. If anyone is actually watching this video, you can comment movies down below and I'll react to them and give my thoughts and opinions on them. And yeah, so if you guys have if anyone is watching this, because I doubt not many people will, but if anyone is watching this, just comment down some horror movies, not any random movie. They have to be horror, because this is a horror account. Comment some horror movies down below, and I will watch them and give my thoughts and opinions on them. So yeah, see you everyone.